Well, this is the kind of information that millions of Americans need to hear. Did you know that there is a high limit personal credit card from Boeing Employees Credit Union? $35,000. And the cool thing here is that they accept people with no credit, low credit, bad credit, fair credit, good credit. It's just fantastic. Let me share more with you. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you're here to ask me if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about a massive limit personal credit card from Boeing Employees Credit Union, BECU. And the limit is $35,000. And this card is open to all applicants, no matter the credit score. Before I get into the actual nitty-gritty, please understand this card, the video is purely instructional, educational, and informative. We're not getting any cash. We're not getting paid by Boeing Employees Credit Union to talk about this. It's just a fantastic card, and we want to share more about the card with our viewers. Okay, so here are the credit card facts. So the card is called the Boeing Employees Credit Union. This is a low-rate Visa credit card. It's a mouthful name, but it is what it is. It is an unsecured credit card. In other words, there's no deposit, no personal guarantee, nothing. You just apply. Maybe you might get the 35 grand if you're lucky. Maybe you might get 10 grand or 25 grand or 15 grand. Listen, I'll take this every single day. Okay. And what are the BECU Visa benefits? No annual fee. You have 0% intro APR for 12 months on both purchases and balance transfers for new cardholders. And after that, your rate is variable, currently ranging from 7.99% to 19.99% based on your credit worthiness. There are no balance transfer fees, no cash advance fees, no foreign transaction fees, and other travel abroad perks. That's just fantastic. Think about it. There are no fees. There are no fees. Okay, so the limit up to $35,000, and the APR starts from 10.99 to 21.99%. Now, earlier I told you 7.99 to 19.9, Earlier I told you 7.99% to 19.99%. That's because the rates are sometimes vary based on the LIBOR, so the index rate. What about decision speed? You can get your approval within 5 days, sometimes longer, depending on your situation. And there are no fees, as I already said, no annual fee, BT fee, balance transfer fee, cash advance fee, nothing. Now, there is a penalty fee up to $25 for a late payment or return payments, okay? And in terms of extra conditions, you got to be a member of the credit union. So if you want to be a member, it's very easy, very easy. All you have to do is the easiest, at least in our analysis, the easiest and fastest way is to donate $5 to $10 to an organization called KEXP. And we're showing you the link on the screen. And this organization is linked to the Boeing Employees Credit Union, and then you're in. Now, let me talk to you about the issuer. I want to talk to you about Boeing Employees Credit Union. But before I do that, folks, let me remind you what we're talking about here today. We're not speaking about a credit card with smaller amount. No, we're talking about a credit card, a high limit personal credit card from Boeing Employees Personal Credit Union, $35,000 in credit limit. Okay, now who is the issuer? BECU. I call them BECU. They are the largest credit union in the state of Washington and the fourth largest credit union in the United States. So the total number of members it serves exceed 1.3 million people. Think about it. They have members in excess of 1.3 million. That's wonderful. What about the pros and cons? So here with this organization, you have there are no monthly service fees or balance requirements. They have a comprehensive suite of product offerings accessible to members. You have the opportunity to earn higher yields thanks to member advantage accounts, So this is on the savings side. And they have nationwide access to more than 30,000 surcharge-free ATMs. What about the cons here? Their yields are very low comparatively to other top credit unions. And their branches, most of them are in Washington State. The reason why I'm talking to you about the credit and savings part is because for you to become a member, once you are a member, you're going to have a credit account. You need to have a checking account, not credit account. You need to have a checking account, at least a checking account. And if you are smart, you might want to have also a savings account with them. Okay. So, and the thing is that even though they are actually, they have more branches or more coverage in Washington, Idaho, and Oregon, they actually operate nationwide. Okay, not a problem. So after evaluating this card issuers on tens of criteria, including credit card variety, the card limit generosity, the cost, the reputation, the customer service, we assign the company a score of 9/10. And BECU offers a constellation of financial products besides credit cards. So you have home buyer programs, vehicle loans, home loans, personal loans, investment services. So you have the whole 9 yards with them. So now let's talk about the card in depth. Okay. So again, folks, in this show, I'm talking to you about a high limit credit card from Boeing's employees credit union. And the card is called the Boeing Employees Credit Union Low Rate Visa Credit Card. And this is one of the nation's lowest everyday interest rates. This card has one of the nation's lowest everyday interest rates. No annual fee. I've already said that. You have 0% intro APR on purchases and balance transfers for the first 12 months, after which your rate is variable. Okay. And we love the fact that there are no balance transfer fees also. And you actually, you just want to make sure you have the right strategy to get the 35K. Now, to get the 35K, even though the card is open to everybody, chances are you're not going to get it if you have poor credit. You're not going to get the full 35,000 if you have poor credit. But guess what? If you get $5,000 or $10,000, take it and start playing with it, repay them back, and build your credit from there. And we love, when it comes to the BECU card, we love the international rewards, the international benefits here, because when you're traveling abroad, they have a bevy of benefits that are pretty good in terms of booking your flight, in terms of no foreign transaction fees, in terms of all the perks that you can enjoy while being abroad. So this is pretty good. And we also love all the security features that revolve around the card, not only in terms of fraud prevention, not only in terms of identification, but also BECU does a great job at making sure that you are constantly in touch with the customer service. If anything happens, and if you believe that something is going on with a card that is fishy or dodgy, just call them up at 1-800-233-2328, or you can just visit a neighborhood financial center and just talk and just relay the incident to one of their reps. And we love that with this card. One thing we also love is the fact that they have you have access to the dashboard, the borrower dashboard on the BECU online or app or mobile account, mobile app, if you will. And you can monitor your spending. You can monitor your credit. You can monitor your credit limit, and they constantly evaluate your account, and they can raise your limit. So if you don't get the $35,000 at once, guess what? You might qualify for $35,000 after a few months or years with them. So this is pretty cool. I want to talk to you now about eligibility. I know you're excited, right? I know. So we're going to talk about that. But first, again, let me just remind you, I want you to be focused here, because we're not talking about a credit card with a teeny weeny yellow polka dot bikini limit. Not a $300 or $500 limit. We're talking about $35,000, 35000. Okay, this card is fantastic. So you gotta first, to be eligible, you first need to be a member of the credit union. I've already told you that, so that's not a problem. If you don't live in Idaho, Oregon, or Washington State, if you have no relationship or no association with Boeing, the Boeing company, that's fine. Just go to that organization I told you called CEXP. and apply and just give them $5 or $10 and you're in. After you do that, you want to open a bank account. You want to open a savings account. And if I were you, I'll also open a savings account. The whole idea is to concentrate your business, to optimize your business with BECU. That way, they make money from you, and they might be willing to actually grant you the car that you want. So once you have that, make sure that you have a proof of income. So you can show that you actually have a job, or you have some kind of a seasonal activity, seasonal professional activity that generates money for you. And we're talking here about legit business though, legit money, all right? And one thing I also want to say here is that you want to also have, you got to be 21 years rather. And if you're 18, then you want to have a parent's permission. Or if you don't want a parent's permission, you got to have a verifiable source of income. Okay. And please do not apply online. No. You want to go to, you want to talk to someone on the phone, or you want to send an email, or you want to go to the branch, to the nearest branch. Okay. And have your social ready, have your date of birth, your name, everything ready. You want to have, in some cases, they might want to have your income tax returns for the last 3 years. I'll speak about that later on. But yeah, that's about it. So nothing really nothing much. And they also want to know your time at the current residence, how long you've been living where you are currently right now. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I'm still talking to you about a high limit, massive limit credit card, personal credit card from BOEING Employees Credit Union. And this is the BOEING Employees Credit Union low rate Visa credit card, maximum limit $35,000. That's good cash right there. You could do a lot of things with that cash. And so now I want to talk to you about the evidence needed. What kind of evidence is BECU looking for it before authorizing or before granting you the limit that you want? Okay, so there are actually 5 things. So first, you have the employment. So you got to prove that you have a job. Again, you have a legit job that pays you. You can prove that you can actually show evidence of it through your W-2 or your 1099, right? And BECU doesn't really care much about the monthly or the weekly pay stubs. They care about how much you're making annually, because they understand that some people are in an industry that is cyclical, that is seasonal. So if seasonality is pretty, I would say pretty skewed, pretty skewed, then what I mean by that is that some people they only work hard for 3 or 4 months during the year. And the rest of the year, the activity is pretty lethargic. Like, for example, if you are a tax preparer, for example, you make a lot of cash from January through April. And then for the rest of the year, you might have a very, I would say, lethargic activity. So the point I'm trying to make here is that BECU cares about how much you're making on an annual basis. And so that's number one, employment. You want to print the credit card application. So you want to print that. And you want to put on there all information about yourself, whether you are co-borrowing or co-signing this credit card application, what other debts you have, whether you are a tenant or a homeowner, which type of card you need, right? So you want to print that. Do not file online. You just want to print that and have a conversation with someone before and you want to apply with a person. After the person on the phone, somebody from BECU gives you the instruction to do so. So you want to have that. You also want to have your income tax returns for the last 3 years. So this is specifically for your 1040. So they'll be looking at the amount that you have made, your financial statements, so your balance sheets, your income statements, and your cash flows. So those are important elements that they want to see. And BECU staff also wants to have your bank statements for the last 3 months if you don't bank with them. So if you bank with them, that's even better. If you are with them, they already have your information, and they might, in some cases, want to see some collateral. But again, this particular card is unsecured, so there is no deposit needed. So you shouldn't need to produce some kind of collateral or personal guarantee. All right. Now I want to talk to you about how to apply, because this is important. Again, folks, I'm speaking about a very high limit credit card from BECU. BECU stands for Boeing Employees Credit Union. And this is a card that has a potential maximum limit of $35,000. Okay, so if you are new to BECU, you can apply for the BECU visa in person at any of their neighborhood financial centers. That's how they call their branches. So in order to submit an online application, you'll first need to apply for BECU credit union membership and enroll in online banking. So once you've got online banking set up, you can apply after you log in. But that's the instruction that is listed on the website. But as I've told you, do not apply online. You'll be taken care of by an algorithm, and you don't want that. Especially if you have less than stellar credit, then you want to speak to someone about your particular condition before going further. And if you are a current BECU member, they want you to log into online banking, and you want to select apply for credit cards and loans for a tapped option. And if you're looking for a business credit card, you want to see their business credit card page. So the bottom line here is that you can actually once you are a member, you log into your page and you see the apply for credit card loan and you see the application form. You know what you have to do, right? You need to print that application form, or what you can do is you can fill it out, you print it, and where it says submit, do not submit. Sometimes they will show you, they will say save for later or whatever. You can just save it, but do not submit. So you print it out and you contact someone over the phone. You talk about your situation to them, and then they'll let you know what to do. Usually you can apply for any credit card with BECU through email. You can email them the documentation, the application form, and all the evidence they want. You can fax it over to them. Of course, it has to be a secure fax number. It could be, you can do it online, so web form. You can do it over the phone. You can pay a visit to the branch, or you can mail it in. Some people still love to mail things in, so this could be this could be great. So once you do that, you have to check the application status. So you have to log into online banking, and you have to select check loan status for the tabbed options. And if your application is approved and all required documents have been obtained, your credit card will arrive in the mail within 5 to 7 business days, and you will receive a PIN in a separate mailing 7 to 10 business days thereafter. Now, let me give you a few pro tips, folks. I want to give you a few pro tips before we leave today's conversation. Now, again, those pro tips are important because the card we're speaking about is a high limit credit card from Boeing Employees Credit Union, $35,000. And this kind of cards don't happen every day. You don't come across them every day. So you got to be strategic here in terms of getting the card. And what do I mean by strategy? What I mean by strategy is I mean that you need to have a plan if you want to get that card, especially if you are targeting the high limits of $35,000, the maximum limit of $35,000. Then you want to have some kind of preparation. This is important, folks. And why? Well, first, that will help you increase your chances. And to really win this card, to really win this game and get approved, there are 3 important things you want to pay attention to. First, make sure that you can demonstrate sufficient cash flow. You want to show to the BECU staff members that you have enough cash to cover, not only to live normally, to cover your existing debts, your existing obligations, but also pay the credit card. Because they're not giving you 35 grand if you're making, let's say, $1,000 a month. Doesn't make sense. The mismatch is too big, right? But if you're making, let's say, 100,000, if you're making 6 digits a year and you're asking for 35 grand, you might qualify for it. Even if you have less than stellar credit, you might qualify, because they're looking at a constellation of criteria, not just your income. They're looking at other elements, your job stability, your education level, that kind of stuff. So you have to prove your income. You have to maintain good credit. So good credit means that you're constantly monitoring your credit scores and credit reports at the 3 main bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So if there is anything fishy about your credit reports, you just fix it right away, right? If it's fishy, fix it. That's what my old people used to say. If it's fishy, fix it. So, and you can fix it by sending a dispute letter to each of the 3 credit bureaus. Okay. And the third element here is you need to keep your documents in order. In other words, you have to maintain proper organization in terms of your bank statements, your tax returns, your employment offer letters, all the kind of information, all the kind of paperwork that's important. You got to keep it in order. All right, folks, this was it for today's conversation. I was talking to you about a massive personal credit card from BOEING Employees Credit Union, $35,000 maximum limit. So I was talking to you about the card itself, the credit card facts, the issuer overview, the card in-depth, eligibility. We also talked about evidence that is needed to approve the application, how to apply, and pro tips. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.